Hey everybody, Connie here today at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Titan Diamond Snow Tire Chains here for our 2020 Jeep Wrangler with tire size 245, 75, 17. So these are actually some of my favorite tire chains. The reason for this is going to be a couple of them. Number one, they are super easy to install. We only have a few connection points. There's going to be a connection point at the back and the top. There's going to be a connection point at the front at the top, and then we're going to have one at the rear. But that's it. They're super easy to install. And that's going to be a great feature to have in tire chains, because if there's one thing you don't want to be doing, it's outside in the cold, wet snow installing tire chains. So if we can get these on easy, we can get back in our warm vehicle and continue on our path. So if we take a little bit of a closer look at the actual chain cross sections, number one, we're going to have square shaped links, which are really going to help bite into the snow and ice and give us the best possible traction and stopping power. The next thing we're going to talk about is the pattern here. Now I'm sure you're familiar with these standard tire chains, which are just horizontal sections that run across the tread of our tire. This is a little bit different design. It's going to be a diamond pattern. And the benefits that the diamond pattern has over these standard cross-section style chains is that there isn't going to be any lapses in coverage. We're going to have continuous coverage here, so we're always getting the best possible traction and stopping power with this diamond style chain. Something else you'll notice on our tire chains here is that this outer chain, we have a colored and coated. So what this does is it does two things. Number one, when we first get our chains out of the bag, we're going to see these easily identifiable colored sections, which are going to help us untangle the chains and get them ready to install sooner. And number two, since they are coated, they're going to be a lot easier on our hands when we're gripping these out in the cold, as opposed to these cross chains here, which are going to be much colder when we're outside. So the first step of our installation here, we want to get our chains laid out in front of us here, get rid of all the kinks and tangles, making sure that we have a good center point here. You can see here where the two chains separate. This is going to roughly line up with the center of our tire. So before we drape it around, we do need to pay attention to which side of our chains are facing down. If we take a look on the back side of our chains here, we'll see this open end of our hook. This actually needs to be facing the ground for the first step of this installation. So let's go ahead now. Again, we're going to pay attention to that center mark on our chains here. I'm going to line that up with the center of the tire. We're going to go ahead and slide it around back. Then we may have to reach around here and pull the rest of our chain through. Just like so. And once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make our first connection here, which is going to be at the top of the tire with our two cabled ends here, one on either side. We're going to come around to the back at the top, make our connection here. You'll see we have this knob here, which is soldered to that wire. We can go ahead and make our connection. Now we're going to begin pulling the chains over the top of our tire here, trying to make them as centered as possible. And once that's done, we can go ahead and make our second connection here, which is going to be with the yellow links here and then our green hook here, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust it a little bit further. We see the center section of our chain here. We want that to roughly line up with the center of our tire. But now we're going to have our other connection, which is actually our final connection. It's going to be our gray chain here along with our black plastic handle. Now how this is going to work is we're going to take the other side of our chain here. We see we have this little red keeper. The chain needs to go through that, and then we're going to pull it tight. And then we're going to come back around here. You're going to see these red loops here on our chain. We're going to come through one of those red loops, take our keeper, and attach it to our yellow side chain. But that's it. So now we're going to go ahead and pull forward, or backwards for that matter, and then see how our chains are fitting. If they are a little loose, we do have some adjustments we can make. We have a couple chains up here, some adjustments, as well as the adjustments we talked about earlier. But chances are they're not going to free up that much slack. So I would say the majority of the time you are going to be able to ready to take off down the road after your first initial install. And that'll do it today for our look and installation of the Titan Diamond Snow Tire Chains here on our 2020 Jeep Wrangler.